So this is my 23rd Ultra AHA, and thanks for choosing to watch this little snippet of what's come out in the last week as I literally head right into the downhill run of my training for my Bali Hope Ultra. And this AHA came from a podcast that I was listening to, and I'm just going to get it right. It's Dr. Philip Ovadia, and I'll put the podcast link in the notes. This was a conversation he had with, it's off the podcast Diary of a CEO with Steve, what's Steve's name? Steve. It's D-O, Steve. Anyway, it's the Diary of a CEO, and it's a really cool podcast that I've started to listen to. And that's one of the beauties, I suppose, now that I'm, doing these 3, 4 and about to do my 5-hour run, is that I've got gaps in time to listen to some content that I just wouldn't be able to listen to in my normal day-to-day life. Anyway, this doctor from the States, what I enjoyed is that he's a cardiologist and, he's a heart surgeon. So he spent so much of his life at the end stages of heart disease. And he had his own AHAs, particularly I think he explained when he was having to tell a young family that the mother, who I think was in her late 30s, early 40s, had not got off the operating table. She died of heart disease and had been entirely able to be avoided because it was based on lifestyle and diet. And so he shares some fabulous pieces about metabolic health rather than weight-based health. And I really love that, particularly with heart disease. The thing I love most is that he shared in his own life now that he looks, when he's setting goals for his health, that he really is more about creating a system in his life around his health. And it dawned on me that that is exactly what has gone on with my training regime getting to my goal. So my goal of completing the Bali Hope Ultra, which is my first ultra, but completing it, my goal is to glide across the finish line. Now that may seem particularly ridiculous, given I will have done 84 kilometers. But what my intention is that when I get across that finish line, I am able the next day, if I wanted to be able to go for a walk or to be able to just get on with my day-to-day life. I'm not doing this ultra and completing it breaking myself. And so because that has been my intention, I have had to build systems in my training regime, in my eating regime, in my mindset regime. I've had to build systems within it, and I'll explain in a minute what they are, so that end result will happen. And what he shared in the podcast is that if people could look at their health more in relation to building systems around their health rather than just one goal after another, and I would concur with that, because the challenge, if your health is significantly just based on goal after goal, when a human completes a goal, more often than not, we revert back to old behaviors because the goal is over. So for a classic goal that humans would have in health is to lose X number of kilos. Well, what is the use in that if you haven't taken advantage of what the system is that you've developed to lose those kilos and keep the system going? So what are my examples? So under the system I have now developed is that for me to get to run fit state is I only do 3 runs a week. I've been doing 2 short runs and 1 long one a week. That is it. That is to get ready for this ultra. So once this ultra is over, what my system of running desire and health is to at least maintain 2 runs a week. That's my new system. I can see that I will probably want to add in, after a bit of time of a break, some extra, a long run in on a weekend related to the time that I have available in my life. But that's a system. Other things around that system is weight training. So I do 2 weight training sessions a week and a reformer Pilates and yoga. I was already doing the Pilates and yoga before the ultra, but they have been invaluable for my body, and I will maintain that system because it helps me to keep run fit, run ready. And to be honest, the level of weight training that I will continue to do is so valuable for this female body as we go like into menopause now and, you know, until I die. Weight training is so valuable, particularly for weight management. Also, the ice baths, being able to use the ice baths as a recovering technique. Yes, I've been using them after 3, 4, and 5 hour runs. I'm going to do them after running, after this is over. And particularly on a run, I had a 1 hour run yesterday, and it was pretty solid. Like, it was an effortless run, and I ran faster than I've probably ever run a 9K in my life. And what I've needed afterward is an ice bath. Well, I've got that system. I've got that task ready in this system to bring in. And then around nutrition. So I have learnt the system of eating while I'm training and being my healthiest, happiest self through my training, through nutrition. And I've learned so much about different elements of nutrition. And these will stay with me in my system of health. So the thing that I loved that Dr. Oveda brought up that really resonated with me is, after the goal is complete, because I'm now familiar with what the system is that I've developed to get to that goal, I keep the system. I focus on the system until I come up with my next goal. And I don't know what that'll be. At the moment, I'm saying never another ultra, but who knows? I hope what this means for you is to look at any goals that you've achieved in life that you've really been excited that you've achieved, and look back and see what the systems were that you set up. And did you even look at it in that context? And if you did, massive tip. Think about your ultra. As I've been saying, I'm encouraging you to think about some big, hairy, audacious goal, physical or not physical, that you want to achieve. And what would be the systems that you need to get into weekly, every single week, so that you can attain that goal, because it's the systems that are so valuable. And the last piece of this is that I would not have been able to create those systems if I had not had the support mechanisms that I've got. As I said, I have a dietitian, I have an acupuncturist, I have a physio, I have a running coach, and he's an epigeneticist. And I have mental mentors who already run ultras as well, Kyron. So I haven't created this system entirely on my own. And that's the last piece to this aha. No one ever does. No one ever achieves anything massively significant in their life without having a support system. That's part of it. Hope this is giving you food for thought, and look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.